What are we talking about today?
I pokes and head jokes. Welcome back, guys, to episode 176 of five or six.
No, six.
Oh, I was right this time. Shit.
Yeah.
The first time I'm right, and I completely think I'm wrong. 176 of iPokes and Head Chokes. Thanks again for being with us.
Yes, through all the hard times and the
Yeah.
crazy shit that's going on.
A lot of crazy shit, exactly. And you know, apparently the wrestling industry is not without being in the shit either. Well, more on that later. First and foremost, we want to congratulate the Undertaker on an illustrious, almost mythical, proportionate career.
There's not too many bad matches.
No, not at all, except for like the last two or three. But
Mania.
or like I'm talking
years.
about like in Riyadh or anything like mainly the super showdown shows that shouldn't have happened, whatever. Either way,
shout out to Goldberg. Shout out to Triple H.
Either way, shout out to the Undertaker. We grew up with him.
Yes.
We saw the mythical figure he became, and everybody wanted to be the Undertaker until he became the American Badass. And then when he went back to the Undertaker, then yes.
No, then you just wanted a chopper like him.
Do you just want to introduce the mask because you keep pulling it up? Yeah, we got an eye pokes and head chokes mask available on Redbubble for anybody that wants. Anybody wants to support.
A shirt. It feels amazing.
It feels good. All right, I'll order some.
It feels like I have a shirt on my face.
Bet. Got it. But no, yeah. So like, I mean, what else can you say about the Undertaker? It's the fucking Undertaker. I haven't watched the Last Ride thing, and the reason I'm pretty sure like once the Last Ride documentaries came out, like once the first episode came out, I was like, I think he's quitting because you don't put all this shit out there for no reason. And that was like my thought in the head. Like you don't lead with all of this up to like a last match. And we talked about it after WrestleMania. That looked like the perfect send off for him.
Talked about it for the last 4 WrestleManias.
Exactly. So I mean, but this one's so much like he said it himself, like he's not he doesn't want to go back into the ring. He has no desire to go back into the ring. About time, thank God. And at least he knows, like, you know, it's time to call it quits. I'm pretty sure the whole time he's been like, you know, what was that face?
No. I'm listening to, like, I truly forgot to turn my music off, and it's not somebody that should be playing in this crazy.
Copyrighted.
No, it's not even just that. It's also
on social media with all the shit going on.
Yeah, between that and then I don't even want
back to the Undertaker. Continue.
But yeah, I just like the fact that he left as he introduced something. Like he introduced the Boneyard match. Like I like that he introduced that match and as his retiring match, even though we didn't know it was going to be his retiring match because a lot of people still don't believe that he's retired. And truthfully,
a lot of people don't, and I understand why.
Yeah, because he should have retired 4, 5, 6 a while ago.
I get it. I understand, and we've been saying this for years. Like he should have retired when he initially lost to Brock Lesnar. 1, he should have retired specifically after the Roman Reigns one because it looked like a retirement match. But honestly speaking,
your stuff in the ring, like
the reason why this one feels actually finite is because of the documentary preceding everything. And like I said, you don't release this look into your life, into the legend that is your character that you built so long and kept kayfabe for so long on. You do not, literally to the end of your career. Like you kept it all the way through. So the thing is, him and WWE showing us all this was a telltale sign that, hey, like he's done, especially after the match he had at WrestleMania. Like it was the perfect send off. AJ Styles, yeah, he lost it. He beat AJ Styles. But like I said, like it just felt like it was the right send off when we were watching it. And because he rode off into, well, not into the sunset because there was no sunset, but he rode off into the night as the Undertaker is wont to do. So it just all felt right, and I just thought like once they announced it, I was like, oh, sounds about right. Finally, like
Yeah.
and finally, not like in a bad way, finally in a good way, because the dude deserves to rest. Like the dude's been a workhorse for the longest time, and I'm pretty sure he could be a producer if he wants or whatever. This and that.
For me, it's two things. It's like, don't taint your legacy anymore, because it's not really that tainted. It's just really Crown Jewel and Super Showdown. Like, those are the only two tainted moments of his career.
Those are his only taints?
Yeah, I was going to say taints. Yeah, I was just going to leave it just like that. But those are the only two tainted moments in his career as far as the performance goes. Like, as much as the world likes to not even the world, as much as some people, yourself mainly, likes to shit on the idea of, not even the idea, just American Badass version, or AKA Big Evil version of The Undertaker, that's not that bad.
I mean, the thing is, he was done. He's been done for years. And the problem is, like, you watched it in the first episode. If you watch the first episode, he said it himself. He's like, I don't want to be the guy that people will say, oh my God, I remember when he was this good. And not like that. You could see, like, he said that in the car. And I was just like, so why are you still going?
But
and then, like, when I thought about it, right? No, I know. But then, like, when I thought about it, I was just like, maybe maybe all this is being shown because, he's done. He's actually done, and this is his way of saying, "Hey, I'm done." This is a look in the life of the Undertaker / goddamn, I just literally forgot his fucking name.
Mark Calloway.
Mark Calloway, thank you, God. But this is a look into the life of not the Undertaker, but more Mark Calloway playing the Undertaker at that point. That's what the whole first episode felt like, and I was just like, oh shit, like he's himself. He's not the Undertaker. He's himself here. I'm like, so that probably means he's gonna retire, and that's what we got. And I'm happy for him.
And that's mostly the reason why I didn't want to watch any of this, because I like the Undertaker, and it's similar to even Triple H, how he was saying how everyone says don't meet your heroes because they disappoint you, right?
Yeah.
And it's similar to that. I'm just using it as a reference. He's not my hero or anything like that, but he's somebody that a lot of people idolize. And then you look at who he is as a human being. We all have our faults, and we all believe in certain things, and we all contradict other people and things and ourselves in certain times. So it's just like me, honestly, I'm fine with not knowing Mark, and because of certain ideologies. Certain ideologies that I'm not going to agree with. And I learned that after watching that first episode as well. I don't need to know much more. I'll like you for who you kayfabe your whole life around, for me, basically. And I'll respect that, because that's who I appreciate the acting. I can definitely separate the man from the character. And some people can't, and at sometimes some people refuse to, and certain things it just doesn't work. And I know for me, it may not work sometimes. So
no, I get it, because it's a difficult thing, because it's like, you see, we literally grew up with the man, literally as he grew. Not like that he wasn't grown in the fucking WWE. He was already like 30 something. But as he grew as a character and a wrestler and a professional himself, like we grew up in tandem with him as he was still growing, and like as a professional. And like, so I understand that willingness to like not want to meet the man or like get insight to the man behind the character. I get that, but at the same time, I'll just use this as a perfect example. The MCU movies. We saw how many years was that going on? From
about
12 years.
10 about 15?
12 years. 15? Well, in terms of like starting with like the actual MCU, in terms of Iron Man 2008.
Yeah.
So when you see Tony Stark, when you see Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, and we all know where Robert Downey Jr. came from. He had all those incidents. He was alcoholic, drug abuse, all that stuff. He bounced back amazingly. Great for him. fucking
He
love me
was good.
some
He
Tony
was good in
Stark.
the '90s. Then he got wild because he got money, like they
Yeah.
usually do. And then
So
in 05, he started a rebrand.
yeah, but for me, like I feel that yes, although Tony Stark, although you're forever gonna see him as Tony Stark, you're still forever gonna see it's the same thing. You're still forever gonna see Mark Calloway as the Undertaker regardless.
Yeah,
And the
there's
other
no
thing
way
is like
around that.
me personally, like I like to get to know the people and the mindset behind the characters that they're playing behind. So like when the Joker came out, for
Yeah,
example, I listened to what Joaquin Phoenix has to say about him playing the Joker, why he did the things he did,
and we
or
did the same
watching
thing
Russell
for.
Crowe with a Gladiator, and
Yeah,
I started
I was
doing
going to say the same
commentary.
thing about Heath Ledger as well.
Yeah,
We did that deep dive as well because he passed, and then we said, okay, we definitely want to hear more and see
exactly.
more, but you want to know why and how. And a lot of people told us about it as far as like on set how method he was and how hard it was to actually deal with him and things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, like I like especially with certain characters you would have to have that you have that respect for. Like of all people, you don't expect the Undertaker to be in kayfabe when he's going to do something when they're going to say, "Hey, WWE is a publicly traded company now," or "Hey, it's sports entertainment. It's not just a sport," or whatever the case may be. So it's really crazy to see him looking like he's about to fight, but he's at a press conference with his bosses. It's different, and then you get to see why he chooses to do those things, and why he's that so ingrained into the character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I said, I respect the drive and the willingness to keep the character going for as long as possible, and knowing when to put yourself on the shelf. So
No, yeah, and I'm finally
it's a
glad.
great thing.
Yeah, I'm finally glad he got to put himself on the shelf. And like for me, like
That sounds horrible.
no, but like for
But
you to
yeah.
realize like, okay, I'm done. It's hard for a lot of people to let that go. It comes for every athlete, no matter if you're like in actual sports or sports entertainment, regardless, it comes for everybody. And you have to realize, can I still keep going at this level? Obviously, he knew he wasn't at the level he was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So like he had to pace it out. But even then, like he just knew this last time, like, all right, I'm done. And I'm sure he knew it for a while. He just said it in the first episode. Even he was just like he wasn't happy with the Roman Reigns fight, so he had to come back in, and then one more time. So like, I get it, and I'm happy he has that solace and that like the production match, like because we said it, we were like, if he's gonna still continue after this, these are the type of matches he should have going forward because they're more tailored to what he is now and to his
and what he can do.
What he
like,
can do exactly.
You get to take a break after you do a flying clothesline from off the ropes. Like
exactly.
They said that the Boneyard was recorded in 8 hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I could tell that was recorded over a long span of time. So it's just,
honestly, I would love to see Shawn Michaels do one of these.
No, he's just done. What?
I know. No. I like if there's a dream match scenario, if ever, I don't. Yeah, no, I feel the same way, but I don't at the same time. Like I respect it, but he's one of my favorites. If there's anyone, it's him. I don't even want to see another one from Taker. I would rather see one from Shawn before I see another one from Taker. And I don't want to see it, honestly. Like
they're done.
As far as the legend goes, that's my legend pick of that situation.
Gotcha.
But
I would prefer Sting. But
he's not even in shape anymore.
No, I know. I mean, none of them are really in shape anymore, to be honest.
And I love Sting, but he's just not. He's in shape for his age. He's just not in the best shape that he could be in for his age.
Not in ring shape. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to the Undertaker. Thank you, Undertaker, for so many fucking years.
We spoke more about this than I even wanted to.
I know. But
I can't help to ramble.
thank you for all the awesome moments, Hell in a Cell moments, the WrestleMania moments. The moment where you lost, I shocked the shit out of everybody, and like literally, like everybody just
Casket
shot
match
themselves.
moments.
Casket match, Hell in a Cell moments. Buried alive matches.
Inferno matches.
Burn your brother matches in the Inferno match. Like amazing thing. The Brothers of Destruction tag team champion matches. Like everything.
I think that was a Kane match, though.
It was a Kane match. He burned fucking Kane. So like.
So it really is an Undertaker match.
Yeah.
It's both their match.
Yeah. So like, thank you for everything. We appreciate it, and enjoy your retirement, man. Like
ice is not
enjoy that shit. Yeah, ice isn't frosted.
It's not defrosted. It's
okay, got it.
It's ice.
Got it. Dun, dun, dun,
I was watching That's My Boy and Vanilla Ice is in the movie. Hilarious. I don't know who
hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. Come on, Vanilla Ice, Andy Samberg.
I ain't gonna talk about Vanilla Ice anymore. Let's just move on to the unfortunate main topic of the week.
Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about.
Yeah,
I forgot. We didn't watch Raw because we were in a moment like this, and I forgot about AEW, and because it's been a topic pretty much since Thursday.
Since about Wednesday, Thursday, yeah. So unfortunately, we had the displeasure, but also the honor of bringing this because it needs to be spoken about. Mm-hmm. And it's being spoken about throughout Twitter, hopefully throughout the world now, and apparently it is throughout the world. We're talking about the Speaking Out movement, about a bunch of abuse and sexual assaults and sexual assault allegations and abusive allegations towards wrestlers within the community, whether it's male or female. We've read a lot of disturbing shit. We've heard a lot of disturbing stuff, and from a lot of people we know. Unfortunately, the people on that list are Matt Riddle, Velveteen Dream.
Oh my God, yeah.
Will Ospreay for a different reason, but still somewhat touted as abuse. Confirmed by another indie promotion, unfortunately.
Him and B. Priestley as well.
Yeah, exactly. David Starr, was it? Right? Yes. David Starr, Jack Gallagher, who already got released by WWE. Sammy Guevara, unfortunately, said some stupid ass shit years ago, and who else?
He got suspended for that.
No, he got suspended, rightfully so.
Yeah. Indefinitely.
And like I said, rightfully so. There's just a lot of, and there's more. I know there's more people. I couldn't bring up the full list. I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
Okay, so what exactly are we talking about first? Are we going to talk about the victimizers? Are we going to talk about?
So first, what we should do is applaud the people that
are speaking out,
because it is a difficult thing to speak out about first and foremost. I know people that unfortunately have been in those situations.
Like we all know somebody.
And we all know at least one person, and the thing is, you might not know. That's the fucked up part. You might not know what that person went through. And I got to a point where like I've met enough more, like one is too much already, but I know more than one person that has had these issues, unfortunately, and it's just an enraging thing to somebody that's grown up like with like, certain morals and certain values instilled by their parents or at least an older brother or cousins or whatever. Like when you hear shit of this magnitude, this disgusting behavior from men and just from men overall, because I don't hear about it a lot from the women's side, but from men like towards the women in the industry, there definitely are. But like in terms of the sexual allegations, it's mostly men, unfortunately. The thing is, I just don't. It's just hard to hear the shit still going on, or just like actually being an issue in the industry, because it has no place. Just like racism has no place in the world, this has no place in the world. Everybody is entitled to their own,
Just because
if they say no, it's a fucking no. At the end of the day, that's it. And that shit pisses me off, that people don't understand that and think it's a game. And
think it's something to joke about, which it is not.
It's not. It's not. And
I
even
get it.
even if you
Everyone
were
has
young and stupid, it still doesn't excuse you from saying such things. Like
exactly. And I know everyone has a different type of sense of humor. I'm one of those people who can pretty much joke about anything, but sometimes it's the one main thing about it is knowing the timing, knowing the place, and knowing who you're talking to.
Or how about just keep that shit to yourself? If those are your thoughts, unfortunately, keep it to yourself. Maybe you won't get in trouble, but maybe you're still gonna be an asshole at the end of the day for having even those thoughts.
Yes.
Like, because honestly speaking, like you said, we're assholes. We joke about a lot of things, but when it comes to certain things, it's just a hard fucking no. Like, no. Exactly. That's not something, because like I said, I know people that's been in those situations, and it fucking sucks. Because the thing is, when you hear about that, you want to go out and punch somebody. So you can imagine how upset you would be hearing that shit. Like, how upset are they, that went through it? And like, cause like if I got pissed off about it, I could imagine how they're feeling. I could imagine how they're still feeling regardless of when it happened.
It's being stripped away from something and then not wanting to talk about it, and then not being able to talk about it because the feeling it gives you over and over again. You're losing yourself. You have no control over anything. You have no control.
People have to go to therapy thinking that they did something wrong, and sometimes people don't believe them, which is the worst fucking part. And unfortunately, I've seen on Twitter, I've seen all over fucking Twitter. No, blah blah, that's bullshit. Blah blah, that's a fake account. Like, are y'all fucking kidding me? Like, dude, this is rampant. Like, it to the scale that it's being. That new shit keeps coming out every day. It's very disgusting and super alarming for the business. Because if this is what it's like, a lot of women aren't going to want to be wrestlers after this. A lot of women have left the wrestling industry over shit like this. Which fucking blows.
And this is really an old topic. This is an old topic because I remember not too long ago, maybe about not even still in the COVID era of things. Somebody posted a GIF, or maybe it was a video of Terry Runnels doing a Bronco Buster on Jerry King Lawler. I think it was a couple of pictures. One of the pictures is just a picture of his face. He's super fucking excited, and somebody posted it, and she replied. She quoted and replied to it, basically saying, "This was my least favorite thing to do." It's fucking disgusting. Like, this is something that she has to do because it's her job. Meanwhile, her ex-husband is also in the back, and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting.
It's been an issue for a long time. I mean, like, if you want to go further back, if you want to talk, was it the Mae Young or was it the Moolah? Like, which one was it that was
it was Terry Runnels doing a Bronco Buster, and she was saying how much
No. I'm talking about going further back with the exploitation of women in wrestling. I'm talking about like the Mae Young
Moolah.
Was it Moolah? The Fabulous Moolah issue.
Yeah.
Like, it's all over so it's like, even at that point where a head woman taking over, like, it's we thought that
we were so far beyond certain things.
And to still hear about this shit going on, like the Matt Riddle shit, like that one fucked me up. Hearing that and reading that stuff, I was like, that's fucked up. The Joey Ryan, numerous Joey Ryan ones that I fucking knew were gonna happen, because I'm just like, yeah, your gimmick revolves around your fucking dick. Like, I'm sorry, like, unfortunately, like, I thought better of it. I'm like, like, maybe not, hopefully not, but your gimmick does revolve around that. I could see it, and then when you see all the fucking things coming out,
I would hope not. I would also hope not, because even with that, there should be that skepticism of, this might really happen. I might be outed as this perv who is just a perv. I'd rather be the gimmick of the perv and not really be the perv. Like, that's what I was hoping that was.
No, of course, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. I thought the whole thing was a gimmick, but unfortunately, it turns out that there's allegations aren't always necessarily true, but the numerous amount of allegations that are facing a lot of people and that are being corroborated by other people in the industry, like, it's fucking sick, man.
9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, if 10 people call you a liar, you're a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's just that. If there's 10 people in the room and they all have the same situation with you, it's a real situation.
And this is why I've always said, like, I've always had this question, actually, to be incredibly honest with you. Do wrestling promotions have HR departments?
We've had that conversation before.
If so, what the fuck do they do? Because this is my problem. If something happens at my job and something similar or like just a remark is said, guess what? HR is involved if they need to be involved immediately. Like, it's one phone call and it's a thing. Why? No. But why is this so? Why is it so rampant? And like, and you see this from everywhere. You see it even from the wrestlers, from the other wrestlers, reading about other wrestlers and all this shit. Like
no, it doesn't surprise me. Like, that's disgusting. Crazy. Like, I knew somebody.
Yeah, but like they're even saying like, yo, like I had no fucking idea, and some people probably don't have any fucking idea. But unfortunately, like especially in the indie scene, like I'm pretty sure this is a lot more prevalent. Right here.
So to talk about like the people that were helping them get along with these situations, Candice LeRae is one of the people that's supposed to have been helping, I guess, gold or vet some of the other females for Joey Ryan, because they were quote unquote best friends. So it's definitely situations like that where it might be the situation of, I don't want to say jealousy, but something like that, or just envy upon each other. So
what the fuck? Wait. What are you talking about? Jealousy? I'm confused. Confused the shit out of me.
The fact that can be a factor in some reasons some women can do these things to other women, because, like I said,
what the fuck you gotta be jealous about? Isn't she married to Johnny Gargano?
I don't know.
You're speculating.
No. That's super
about speculation.
That's also about like talent and things like that. But that still doesn't give anyone the right. There's no reason for any of this.
I mean, because she released a statement saying like, "Yo, like I had no fucking idea. This is disgusting. I would have never fucking been around him or tag teamed with him. Period."
I didn't read too much of that, and I'm
not too long, about like an hour ago. So like, I was reading up on this shit on the train ride coming home, trying not to like touch anything because like we're still living in in this world. But like I'm reading about this shit and I'm like fuck, man, like. So
I've been trying to keep off of social media, just posting here and there, not trying to be too much on it because I get stuck into it. I see pictures of, not even pictures, screenshots of people just writing messages, and I'm like, oh, here, it's another one.
And that's the problem. Like when like, I mean, it's not a problem because I'm glad all this shit is coming out, and I'm glad that the people,
the base is a problem.
Yeah, I'm glad that the people are being fucking like shown for what they are, for who they are. Honestly speaking, for me, probably the most troubling one is the whole Velveteen Dream shit. Like, because
he's going after kids.
Supposedly, we're not saying it's allegations.
This is
there's a lot of no, because it is all allegedly, because there's no actual. I mean, not to say that there's no actual proof, because there's
legal
some proofs. Exactly. If it's not legally proof, like I can't take social media's proof for word. But from the shit we've seen on social media, and this isn't the first time it comes up. This came up about 3 months ago. So it's not like it's old fucking news. It's something that resurfaced, that somebody felt that, hey, I've been in the same situation as these people, because the speaking out thing is coming out. Maybe I should finally fucking say something. And when I'm reading it and talking about him being a pedophile, or like, yeah, you could count it as a pedophile if they're under fucking 17, whatever.
Yeah.
But
and
like,
it's guys and girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. Like it's very disheartening. It's very fucking sad.
It's very suspect, because even with him, it's this idea of him at indie shows. He would never talk to anybody. Never.
That's kind of skeptical, like, too. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, I hope to God it's not true, but if it is, there's a special place in hell. If I was devil, like there's a special place in hell I would reserve for those type of people, for the predators and pedophiles and those type of nature. Where, like, I'm sorry, I'm hoping it's not true. God, I hope it's not true. But if it is, man, I hope it's not true. Let's just.
Yeah.
I
I
really
really
hope to
want none
God
of
it's
this to
not
be
true.
true, but at the same time, I don't want any of these people to just be saying things just to say things either.
And that's the other thing. Like, some people are like that, and I can't discount those people. But at the same time, when you have mountain of evidence, or not even mountains of evidence, but the same different people corroborating the same type of shit, it's kind of hard to ignore. Like,
everyone's not a liar.
If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, it's not a fucking chicken. You know, it's not a dog, it's a fucking duck. And at the end of the day, like, it just sucks to see how widespread this problem still is, how rampant, like, this type of shit is, and something needs to be done about it. And that's why I keep asking, like, why don't they have HRs? Like, why don't they have these things?
That goes back to certain companies, as you know.
Because does WWE have an HR? Because I'm about to look this shit up. Like,
it doesn't matter if they do. You know who Vince McMahon is. It doesn't matter if WWE, WWF.
Oh, okay. So WWE does have it. Vice President of Human Resources, Meredith.
Of course.
Meredith, where you been at?
But how long have they had it exactly
been there? Or how much power does it get?
Exactly, because like I said, we know who Vince McMahon is. Like, he is one of those guys.
I mean, he just had that whole fucking Mandingo storyline with this girl. And
but it's even beyond that. There are real people.
No, I know.
That has always like come on, the Fabulous Moolah situation. I don't want to say he was a part of it. No one said that he was ever a part of that, but there's some knowledge about that, and there's some knowledge about who he is. Like, even through this whole sad long weekend, we've had pictures of. I'm not sure. I didn't read her name, but they said that the very first original female referee for the WWF even have some allegations on him as well. I had no idea about that. I had no idea about the fact that Ashley, who just committed suicide sometime last year, was raped or had some situation going on where she was super uncomfortable in 2007 and brought it up to WWE officials, I'm guessing Vincent and company, about her time at I think tribute to the troops. Yeah. So I don't know what that situation was. I don't know who the guy was, or who the predator was. And they swept it under the rug. She said that they told her to not talk about it, and so on and so forth. That's all I know. There's so many videos on YouTube about it. Her speaking up her piece. It's a lot. It's really a lot that goes into WWE and a HR department. So
this is my other thing. Like, the HR department isn't apparently a factor because, unfortunately, it can't be because technically they're not employees, they're fucking contractors. That's first and foremost where you run into the issue. So, HR probably only works for the employees of WWE, which are hourly paid workers.
Most definitely. I was going to get to that. I'm happy we're there.
So the HR possibly doesn't extend to the wrestlers, which they should, because it is talent and they're contracted individuals that are exclusive to WWE. If they do, cool. What's being done about it? Are they actually active within the wrestlers' like plights and issues, or is it swept under the rug because guess what? They're not actual employees of WWE Inc. They're actually just contracted.
Which I doubt. I highly doubt.
The next thing is going forward, because like I said, we just had the issue with this kid, Sammy Guevara, with what he said 4 years ago on a podcast about.
I don't know if it was a podcast. I don't know
what the podcast was, but I just know it was like a 12-second clip where he was like, "Man, I saw Sasha Banks," and like I don't even feel comfortable saying it, but
it's out
to the
there too.
effect
We can
of
look
what
at
he
that.
said. And so you sent me that, and I was just like, God damn it, not you two. And then the other thing is, you sent me a thing from Sasha Banks saying that, hey, I spoke with Sammy. He apologized, all this, and that. Like, a lot of things, saying like, hey, this needs to stop because like this is a rampant thing. There's no place for this. All agree with. And for me, like, he also apologized on Twitter. He said he spoke with her. He said that he was ignorant and he learned a lot from her as to how much of an asshole he was about the whole thing. Like, and I'm glad that although, the internet tends to crucify people and this and that, I'm glad that the two people that were the subject of what was going on were actually able to talk about it and actually act like adults, speak on it. One learns something from the other, and not that she probably forgives him or anything like that for saying such things, but at least he got the apology through. She possibly understands where he's coming from, even though there's nothing to understand because that's not acceptable.
The only thing to understand is that they understand that they were being an asshole at that time. That's the only thing. I'm not that person anymore. That's the only thing to understand.
Exactly. So like, I'm happy that on a personal level they were able to connect and actually speak it out, like, because and talk about it, because a lot of that shit does not happen. You don't normally see that shit happen. You just normally see the Twitter wars start happening between each thing, and it's just like,
exactly. And my fans versus your fans.
It's not your job.
I don't want to talk.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not your job as a fan to take care of this shit. Oh, he's right, she's right. No, they're humans. They're adults. They're in the same industry. I'm pretty sure they could get each. I'm pretty sure Cody was like, call her now.
Yeah.
Call her now. If he was just like, I need her number. Yeah, exactly. So either way, like, and AEW's response is proportionate to what happened. Like, suspended indefinitely without pay. All his money is going towards I forgot what fund, but it's a women's
central in Jacksonville, something like women's center in Jacksonville, something like
exactly.
That. Which I love. I love
which is great. So like that.
I just wish everything wasn't only in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I agree. But community building and all that stuff, it's important to do that shit.
I do love that.
So community outreach is a big deal. So I get that. And like they said, he's gonna go through sensitivity training like to go through this shit, and like they said they didn't say, oh, he'll be back. They said we'll reevaluate his position with the company after he goes through these trainings.
Yeah.
But
that's going to happen a lot.
Said. It is going to happen a lot because you know what? Unfortunately, guys,
you can't fire everybody. It's one.
Thing. That's number one. Two, guys are fucking stupid. I'll just be the first ones to admit it. We're dumb. We say dumb shit. Whether if we're drunk, whether if we're inebriated, like anything. Like, we say dumb shit at the worst possible times that we don't even think about what we're saying sometimes. And that's not an excuse.
It's not.
I wholeheartedly hold myself accountable for the dumb shit I say.
It's an explanation.
And that's all it is. But unfortunately, this shit happens, or shit is said that we might not think rubs a person the wrong way, but does. And we don't see it that way because, again, we're fucking ignorant to certain things. We haven't been in the position that women have been for a while. And again, not an excuse. Just explaining how our mind tends to unfortunately work at dumb fucking times. So for Sammy Guevara or for anybody that's made a remark like that, it's not acceptable. Period.
Do they change MJF's character a bit now because of this, or does
why?
Sammy's going to sensitivity training. This guy he never turns he's like the Undertaker. He never turns the kayfabe off. He never turns his character off. He never turns the gimmick off.
Is he ever demeaning to women?
Yes, he was on one of those lists of not doing anything but speaking certain things. Verbal abuse.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the problem. He plays a character all the time, so that's a different issue because like. Whether MJF is really like that or not, I don't know. He sticks in kayfabe. He gave a finger to the fucking little kid. Like, I mean, if you didn't go through sensitivity training then, I think everybody should go through sensitivity training now, specifically, first and foremost, before the next fucking show, before you speak to female wrestlers, have the men and have them in their fucking sensitivity training. And any woman that needs it, because there's women on women abuse too. Not gonna fucking front there. But
women on men abuse too. Like, exactly, it's that whole thing of grooming the underage person. Like, that was something I sent from TJP. He said he went through the same thing.
Yeah,
not the same thing, but he went through that. It was an older woman. It was a group of women wrestlers, and he was 15, she was 21, and peer pressure, or what he thought was peer pressure.
So like, and that's the thing. So like, I think anybody that comes in, like when you get a new batch of recruits for your fucking thing, like they have to go through sensitivity training. And then the other thing is you have to think about, and like not just once, you do this shit like twice a year, minimum. So they understand, like, hey, this is a big deal. If you fuck up here, out. I don't care if you're the WWE champion, you're gone. Like, I don't care if you're the AEW champ, out. Because, like, there's no place for this shit anymore, honestly speaking. And the fact that it's still going on is disgusting. The next thing that I would say is, y'all need to have fucking psych evals. It's, like, have a mental evaluation every fucking...
No, yes, they should. I'm not saying no. I just don't think it's going to happen because
you need to, though.
These are still like there are no more headshots of chairs anymore.
That doesn't matter.
But these are still people that are falling on their head. They're still like, it's still the idea of CTE, right? So
you can't blame CTE for fucking
no.
I'm sorry.
No, I am not. But there is still something that's like, it's still something that's you can't measure it. So you should have it. I just don't think that I don't think it's going to happen too soon. And I think there's going to be that similar type of argument that somebody's going to be trying to pull out of their ass because of that. That's what I'm saying. I think somebody's going to try to pull that out their ass.
I just think this is my thing. Like, if you're going to hire contracted workers that you could release at any time.
Yeah.
Like, I get that's why you have those release clauses and everything for shit like this, if stuff like this happens. But then at the same time, like, you also need to protect yourself to not being looking like a jackass hiring these same people that keep doing shit like this. Because then the onus comes on you because you're like, why are you not vetting these people properly? Where's your HR department where you need one? Yeah. Like, you need to have these mental evals, especially because these people are on the road 300 days a year.
Exactly. Like,
or more.
It's beyond giving these people
away from their families. They're away, exactly. Yeah. And like, there's so much shit that you have to fix in the wrestling industry that unfortunately it doesn't lend screeners, but it just adds to putting that environment out there.
It shows more that these people are not really cared for.
Agreed.
That's what it just shows. It shows that these athletes are not really that cared for as far as who they are. Okay, you put on a great show. I love you for that, man. Go home, house a family, whatever.
If you go home, unless you have 3 other fucking nights, you have to wrestle afterwards, and then go home for 2 days, and then be out for another 9 days. So, like, it breeds it unfortunately sometimes will breed that mentality. If you didn't have it, hopefully, like, it doesn't, like, foster that. But, like, if you did have that type of mentality and you're on the road and you can't get to your regular, piece that you can, like...
Yeah, or you can't have her come in or whatever. Like, it's a lot.
Again, like, it's not an understanding. It's just, like, what can they do for the wrestlers to keep
them out of trouble?
Yeah, and to keep them safe from these things going on. Like, do they need a locker room person standing there the whole time? Just like, just making sure, like, a security guard for the women's, a security guard for the men, or do you're gonna need a sensitivity training, period. But I think absolutely they need to fucking vet the people they bring in even more.
Most definitely, that needs to be done a lot better.
Everybody that comes in now has a social media profile.
Yes.
Coming in immediately. if you look on LinkedIn and shit, you go to hire if you go to like apply, they ask for your
They
Twitter.
ask you about that.
They
Oh shit!
ask for your face.
I gotta change
They
it now
ask
though.
for your
But
Instagram
yes, they do. They definitely
because
do.
they want to make sure that they're not hiring a fucking scumbag at the end of the
Yes.
day.
So
Because they're
recently,
liable for that type of shit. Because
exactly.
if
Yeah.
they hire somebody who comes in and does that shit, and unfortunately, takes advantage of somebody, that somebody can sue the company for
Because this is
hiring
who
that
I've
person in
always
the
been.
first place. Because guess what? That shit has been in his social media presence and has shown who he's been for quite some time. Once you put it on the internet, there's no hiding. If you delete a tweet, guess what? Twitter still has that tweet, man.
Yes, it's an encyclopedia
Doesn't
for
matter. I could find
for
it
the
on Google
internet.
if I want to. Like,
Yes,
it's just that crazy. So like, and that's the thing. You need to socially vet these people now. It's a
oh my
fucking
God, there
thing.
were a million tweets that they were pulling up. Like Will Ospreay, he was defending his friend who a woman had came out to say
Yeah,
that did
Pollyanna said
something.
that he did
And
something.
yes, and this was years ago, and he said he deleted the tweet years ago, like maybe hours later after he originally posted it, and it's still coming up today. Still coming up today. Like somebody posted it this weekend today. Like that's how crazy it is. So it's super easy for it to come back to bite you in the ass. Like Chris Statlander was saying how she had an interview with WWE, and that was what it was, an old tweet that came to bite her in the ass. Just and it was nothing super serious. It was like shark or something like that. It had something to do with a shark, her and a shark or something. But what the fuck ever. If it's that minuscule for her and that, think about how big it is with being rapey or being inappropriate with people.
The other thing is, and this is the sucky other thing, like, yeah, you could vet people. Yeah, you could have an active HR department that's like within, like, that actually goes out to the wrestlers and see, like, hey, how's everything? You come to me for whatever, like, action will be taken. Like,
Well, that's the same
the
shit
thing
that happened with
is,
Benoit. Like they said, yeah, you could come and talk to me, but meanwhile he's showing signs of being off and no one's doing anything. So it's like
that's
after
what
a
I'm saying.
while,
So why? So like, it's not as effective as it should be. Like,
make it happen, or you
and
do
that's what you
something.
have to do. Like, somebody's gonna have to, like, go for it,
It's the
because like,
it's
because the thing is, WWE or whatever promotion, because it's not only down to WWE, but the thing is, like, when it comes to it, somebody has to take the lead and say, all right, we're gonna treat these people like as if they're actually our employees, even though they're contracted. They're our employees for the time being, and HR extends to them fully as to how it would for a regular company. So if
yeah.
they have complaints, there has to be HR mediation. There has to be an HR investigation to certain things, just like there would be in any company. Um, and it's just that simple. Like, that's a great starting point to start off with. Again, the suckiest thing is that you can have the HR, you can have the psych evals, but some people just hide it so fucking well that you'll never see it coming. Now, if you hear the
And it's
firefighters in the
also wait,
background,
wait. It's it's
then
it's 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 not it's not only the fact that some of them are hiding it so well. Some of them are just. Sometimes it's the political game as well. We talk about how WWE is backstage politics. That's part of it as well. Because I don't want to keep saying we know who Vince is, but it's a ton of people that's on that list that's been either you can say that they're what one or two of the Stooges. You can say that they're just those guys, Vince's
and those
guys.
people need to be removed. It's that
Most
simple.
definitely,
It's
most
that you have to
definitely,
shake up the organization from top to bottom, because
yeah.
this is the thing. That's why,
And
like,
Lawler
I
is one
always
of
thought,
those
like,
guys as
do
well.
you
And it's
do
not
you
it's not just the jokes about race. It's so many different things with Lawler. And he has retweeted and he has put out many
no,
things
yeah.
over and over again. He is disgusting and we know
And
it.
this is my thing. Like, do you have, like, a female lead that looks into this shit and it gets serious about this shit? Like, because honestly speaking, a lot of this, like, not to downplay that a man can sympathize with certain things, like, or empathize and whatnot, but for a man to hear a woman's plight about what's going on, unfortunately, a lot of it is going to be dismissive, which sucks to begin with. That's why a lot of heads of HR are women, because they can empathize, they can sympathize, they can put you in situations.
Sides.
Exactly. Yeah. So they have to start. You just have to start with the HR department. You have to make them a real HR department, not just for your employees that are in fucking Stamford, Connecticut. You need to do it with your wrestlers, period, as well.
And the roadies.
If it doesn't extend to that, then this is just gonna keep happening over and over again with no solution. And there needs to be a solution. Like, at least every promotion needs to either come together or figure it out on your own. But there needs to be an approach, a unified approach, I think, by all promotions together to stop this shit from happening.
Yeah. Somebody has to be the first one to do it, because look at WWE with the wellness policy that was put that was put into play, and then
policy is bullshit, though.
It was bullshit, but the fact it is bullshit, because if it wasn't bullshit, we wouldn't really have this big of a conversation with a whole bunch of people that just pretty much recently been signed to WWE in the last 2 to 3 years. This is a lot of people that's either on the NXT brand or on the NXT UK brand, and it's a lot of old people that we didn't know about, or old people that we just heard about that's no longer there. So of course the wellness policy is bullshit, but it saying that they had a wellness policy made other people make their own wellness policy.
That's fair.
And they had to do things a little bit differently, not as strict, but they still had to do things differently.
And that's fair. But at the same time, like, you could have the wellness policy, but motherfuckers are still breaking it. So, like, do you do 3 times and you're out? And that's the problem. And that's where it becomes an issue, because when you have, and that's what I'm saying, when you have an HR department that forgoes all that shit and acts like a real HR department and forgoes the backroom politics, the backstage politics, like, you have to have that in place to be able to nip this shit at the bud. Because otherwise, all this speaking out is going to be for naught. Like, we're going to know, but unfortunately, it's going to keep happening. Or maybe it's just going to be hidden for a longer time. People are going to act out on it. And then after a while, after the trend is over, because unfortunately, this world is all about fucking trends.
They're going to get rehired. They're going to
get rehired, or just, like, get back to the usual musings, or change it. Exactly. So it's like,
change their job title in the same company.
It doesn't really help anyone if nothing's really done about it.
Yeah.
And I just think overall, like, they need effective HR departments. It's that simple. It starts there. It starts with an HR department. Human resources is the best way to start tackling the problem within every franchise. And again, like I said, they have one, but I don't know.
Do you think there's a separate HR department for, like, within the wellness policy for wrestlers themselves?
Maybe, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, how does the HR, if the company does have HR, which WWE does, or if most promotions do have an HR department, except for, like, the small indie promotions, but, like, most promotions, if they have an HR department, does that extend to the wrestlers? Because if it does, then we shouldn't be having this much of a problem.
But also, a lot of these conversations are from it's more indie situations, and that's not their problem. So that's one thing that they're going to say about
which
that. It's not really their problem.
Which comes back to the check, the vetting. It comes back to that, because I'm sorry, if as a company,
wait, no,
real quick. As a company, if you apply to a company.
Yeah,
you give them your resume, and they say, "Hey, we're gonna do a background check."
Or your socials.
Bet they do this background check. Why isn't it? And I'm pretty sure this might have been not easy to find out, but they could have found out if they had the proper investigators, or if they wanted to do the investigation.
It is the easiest thing to do.
They could have been like, Matt Riddle, let me know of anything bad that could come back to bite us in the fucking ass. That's the first thing. Yeah, and that's the first thing that any politician goes through when they're going, like, to office, or they're campaigning for office. what skeletons do I have that could fuck me up? So like
What
if
inappropriate jokes?
so exactly, so the vetting needs to be another thing that needs to be stepped up completely, because if you're allowing these people on television, on national television, for
I
people to see, for
fucking
kids to
lost my
see,
thought.
sorry, for kids to see, it's a problem. It's a problem.
I completely lost my fucking thought. That was long-winded.
Sorry.
Shit, and I knew mine wasn't, but fuck. But yeah, I was going on to say like this is it's something that's really more so happening in the indies. How does the okay? So my thought was, how does HR go about this when it's not something that's affecting? It's not something that's happening
It's
on
past
their
tense.
time.
I get it. Um,
Because I'm sure there are things that are happening in WWE locker rooms, because you can't tell me that everyone in those locker rooms are just gamers, because they're not anymore, and these are old people problems, because they're not.
that's
I'm
that's
I'm just saying, because that's a thing. It's the whole new nerdy world now. That all of the old guard hates.
fucking
But
nerds. Anyways, I'm a
yeah,
nerd.
yeah.
It's fine.
I listen. I love no nerd culture, but um, a lot of like we're not gonna get anything from. I don't think we're gonna get anything from WWE this wide, as far as this is happening in WWE. So how does HR really play a part in that if it's not really something that's happening on their in their vicinity?
Start motherfucking sensitivity trainings. Whether it happened on your watch or not, it's your responsibility, because you hired the wrestlers. They're under contract. At the end of the day, contracts come through HR and then go to Vince, and then
Yeah,
come back through HR and go to the wrestler. So it comes back to them vetting and come back to doing the HR, like what HR is supposed to do, sensitivity training. Maybe have it more than twice a year. Maybe have it quarterly,
yeah,
especially
definitely
now
true.
when you can. So like it still comes back to the HR at the end of the day. Like you just have to have an active HR, whether or not it happened at while they were with WWE or before. Like most companies is just get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Most companies HR be like, get rid of them now.
yeah. Like yeah, like
You want more blood in your hands? Get rid of them now,
yeah,
because your
definitely
share
true.
price is about to take a hit.
Because of that one person, no matter how big of a star you made that person. Like they got lucky. I'm not I don't want to say that, but the situation with Jack Gallagher, he was not that big of a star where they just could let him go so easily. They can't do the same thing with Matt Riddle. I don't know what his contract is, but at the
Doesn't
same
matter.
time, he's a different superstar, and it's still
Like I
now
said,
it's his
it
word
could be
against
your
her word.
WWE champion. It could be your champion. It could be whoever the fuck. Get them the fuck out. If your company is serious about it, get them the fuck out. If you're pretending to be Disney, they need to fucking go. I'm sorry. Look what happened with the fucking writer from the MCU over saying some shit how long ago, and then they brought him back afterwards. Like,
What writer? I know Brett Ratner is a nasty fuck too.
not Brett Ratner. It was the other dude.
Cause yeah,
The one that was in charge of Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot his name. Either
Gunn.
way, yeah, him.
Yeah,
He
James
said some
Gunn.
fucked up shit years
Yeah,
ago. And he, they eventually brought him back. But like MCU did something hard. They let go one of their best writers that put some of their best movies forward.
yeah,
So at a certain point, you have a responsibility to your audience, to your consumers, and to your shareholders on top of that, to get
yeah,
that motherfucker out. I'm sorry. I don't care if he's bringing in money. If your WWE champion is accused and alleged in something, you're gonna strip the motherfucker of the title and get him the fuck out.
yeah.
And
Or you will.
unfortunately, you know what? If it blows up, if like you do your investigation first, and if it turns out that yeah, that's true, afuera, he out. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's that
I
simple.
just it's
Or
just gonna
she, or
happen
whoever.
differently with different people,
It is, and that's the
and
unfortunate thing. It shouldn't be.
and you like it's going to be the whole thing of some people are going to get let go, some people are going to it's going to be a revolving door for some people, and it's
It is.
not for others. We know that's going to happen because we're going to think people they're going to say, oh, time has passed, or this, or we did that, or that situation has been cleared up. It's still certain allegations. It's still some people are still going to believe and some people are not, but It's or even if they get off on a technicality. Oh, it was a technicality. It's a win. A win is a win.
A company can't put a technicality foot forward. Sorry, because then that's just
you shouldn't.
You're just morally bankrupt at that point, and then you should just not be fucking watching that or supporting that company anymore. But like either way, like I can't say I'm happy all this came out, but I understand the need for it to have come out, and I'm kind of glad that it has, because now we know
I'm happy
how much
the
of a
bravery
widespread.
has happened.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Said it perfectly.
That's what it is.
I'm happy that these people were brave enough to come out and say what they've said about things that have happened to them. Horrible things that have happened to them. And like,
because it's not easy to be a victim.
No, it's not. It's not
in any shape or form.
I've seen it, and it's not. It fucking sucks. So like, I applaud the bravery. I'm glad that it's out there, because now we know who the fucking sickos are. If it's true, if they all turn out to be true, like, we know who you are. And y'all fucked up. Y'all pieces of shit at the end of the day. So like, toodles, man. Like, I can't tell you shit else. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Bye.
Did you? I know I didn't send it to you, but did you come across the story of Darius Carter?
No.
It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. It's similar to Sammy Guevara, but a lot less. It's just it was a situation in the backstage area, in a locker room situation. Another wrestler, Chris Quelling, I believe his name is. His wife was in the back. She was like laying on a table or something like that, and he did a pose over her. No, he said no touching, no contact, or anything like that happened.
But still disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So the woman actually woke up, I guess, mid pose and screamed on him, and it goes back to Sammy Guevara and Sasha. They had a conversation for pretty much the rest of the night about what happened, why it shouldn't happen, how disrespectful it was, and I'm sure dude wanted to take his fucking head off, because it's also man ego. That's my motherfucking wife. So that part of it as well, and it goes back to how you feel about what people could do in that situation, or would do, or how they feel about themselves versus this woman, whether you know it's somebody's wife or not. You're doing this to somebody in a locker room full of other athletes in front of people. Like, this is who you are. So they had a conducive back and forth conversation for the rest of the night. And Darius Carter put it out there. He said, because a couple of people put it out there, maybe like one or two, but he said he wanted to let it be known that, truthfully, before any other people mixed up the situation, exactly how the game of telephone is. Like, I can tell you, but if you read exactly what he wrote, it's just paraphrasing. It's minuscule from the way that he actually described it.
But still unacceptable nonetheless, though.
And exactly, he took responsibility for all of that, and I applaud him for that, because it's about growing up and understanding your wrongs. Exactly. Respect, like, that's the main thing, because it's not just respect for her; it's respect for him.
Yeah.
And it's just respect for women. That's not something that you should want to be either remembered for doing, or have your name attached to it. You see all of this shit, like, shit happening.
Imagine you have a fucking daughter. You want somebody doing that shit to your daughter, fam?
Exactly.
Like, or your sister, or your mom, like that.
I get,
First and foremost, I don't know how this doesn't stop people from doing this shit.
I don't
get it. Like, I don't understand.
Some people are just fucked up and either don't think of it like that, don't have the siblings, or
just think it's a fucking joke,
or think it's a joke, or just don't have respectable relationships with the females in their family.
Or just that's what it was, honestly speaking.
That's a lot of.
Or unfortunately, I hate to bring it up, and I hate to give them a benefit of the doubt, and it's not even a benefit of the doubt. Shit happened to them.
Yes,
that's another thing.
Yeah,
people that get hurt other people, unfortunately, and
they do it the way they know.
it's psychologically proven, it's scientifically proven that unfortunately this shit does happen. Like, evil begets evil sometimes, and evil breeds evil sometimes. So, like, unfortunately, might have happened to them, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they go out and do it to other people, and it sucks. But
It
like I
definitely
said,
does happen, but
yeah, it does. But I'm just
and
glad
that's
that
another reason why I applaud these women for actually
I'm
speaking up,
glad that
because
they
they
were so
could be
real
those
about
they
it.
could be those same women to do that to some other kids, whether it's a boy or a girl, young or old, or just of age or not. They could have been that, and they decided not to because how much hurt that they went through just thinking about it happening to them. Because a lot of them that's a revolving story of just I couldn't eat,
And we're
I
gonna
couldn't
keep hearing
sleep.
more, unfortunately.
Oh
Like,
yes,
we
yes.
are,
I'm
and
turning off my Twitter.
you turn off your Twitter.
I mean, I'll tweet every
You'll twit.
other.
I
I'll
bet
tweet every
it's
other
fine.
app.
It's fine. I mean, but yes, ladies and anybody who's come out about this, like, thank you so much for speaking out. We
We should have had this episode on Friday,
appreciate your
even though it
bravery.
was a lot more
I want to know more
information.
information for sure. Like, we need
But
more
it was too
information.
many. It's so much more names that came out, and it is a hard.
And you know what? Motherfuckers need to know.
Motherfuckers
need to know. I don't care. Like, honestly speaking, if it turns out to be true, y'all all on my shit list, I can go to hell.
This shit
sorry.
Is
if it's not, then
this
I'm sorry you got pulled
fucking
into it.
Taxing on the soul.
You know what? I don't care.
I officially hate Twitter now. I officially always hated social media, but now I officially hate Twitter, not because of them women speaking out or anyone speaking out, but just for the fact that this is happening, and this is where it's like this is just another
needed to happen
outlet for them to speak about
it
this.
To happen.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. It needed to happen.
It did. It's just like I said, it's taxing. Like, I would go away from the phone for a couple of hours, get back to it on Twitter, and I'm like, more?
I'm on work and I see more pop-ups from fucking Google News, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, fine. Good for you. Good, not good for the victim, obviously, but good for you for being outed, and good for you getting to kick the fuck out. So that's where I'm at. But
the Young Bucks BTE episode 109 had to do with Joey Ryan is no longer up. It might be private. It might be down.
I don't that shit down.
No. Yeah, I look for it and everything. Somebody announced that on Twitter like a couple of days ago. I'm like, no, he's done. He's done. He's no longer on Pro Wrestling Tees. He's done.
A lot of these people are fucking done. That's it.
Yeah.
Simply put.
And done. He had bar wrestling, so that might not even happen again ever. Also, Jimmy Jacobs, not Jimmy Jacobs. What's up, Jimmy Havoc? His name was brought up into this as well, and I think before
sent him to rehab too. Before that, anyway.
Yes, they sent him to rehab. I think on Thursday. So I don't know if it was before everything was announced with him or not, but they did put that press release out, and I'm just sitting here like, oh my god,
yeah, man. I mean, fuck it, drop them like flies if they need to. I have no problem with all these people.
Cancel this bitch. I'll buy another one. Like, you can make a new star out of someone who deserves it.
Come get one of us. Fuck it. You know?
Yeah. Get the right person to talk and back this person. Like, that's all it. That's
and people with the right morals. Like, you just gotta vet people. You gotta have an active HR department. It all starts with people. Like, it all starts with the companies having HR departments, and at least the indies not tolerating this type of behavior anymore, because obviously it's been going on for a while.
Oh my God, there are so many nasty names.
I don't even want to get into it anymore.
Gym owners and things.
A lot of gym owners.
Scouts. Yeah. Oh my, disgusting motherfucker.
I'm so,
like I said, this is taxing. What else can we talk about?
That's it. I'm done. I'm done with the podcast. That's what we're gonna leave it on. Because, like, you know what? I'm not trying to make it anything light about it. Like, because if we talk about something else, there's nothing else to talk about. We ain't see shit. New Japan happened. Shit happened. Go watch New Japan, because New Japan is awesome.
I watched it. I watched it on mute. It was good, but it was the first round good. Yeah, it was like weeding out the ones that you knew was not going to make.
Oh shit! The next round started today. Not the next round. The other half of the bracket. I forgot.
It is the 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it like tonight now?
No, I mean like it happened this morning, so we have to watch it.
I'm waiting for the English version anyway. I'll be alright.
Motherfucker.
Listen.
I'm waiting for the English version.
Gino Gambino, Rocky Romero. I don't know the other guy. And
shout out to the retweet. Thank you.
Shout out to those people in general. Those are my guys. I love them.
It.
So
and we fucks with y'all. That's why we wanted y'all in commentary. We were surprised that y'all weren't actually initially.
Well, they
so
a lot of they
they should have been on set. That's just how I just wanted.
Yeah, they should have been, but they probably in the States somewhere.
Probably.
Not chilling, but I guess. Yeah, that happened. Abaddon, I guess like female creepy crawler woman from AEW. She had another match. I think her second or third match in AEW. You would know if you watched. She got signed. Cody Rhodes kept making more, I guess,
come on, man.
Suspicions of making another Four Horsemen group or something like that, or I don't know. That might be a possibility. He was doing an interview. He was talking on the mic before his open challenge happened, and he kept throwing up the 4 and all of that. So he's like, "Oh, is BTE really? Is the Elite still a thing? Is the Nightmare Family really a family? Whatever." But we don't know about anything like that yet. But what happened was his second open challenge, his third open challenge actually was Ricky Starks, formerly of NWA. He signed to there. They got both of them got signed after their matches. So, and Ricky Starks is really fucking good. Really fucking good.
He is.
And he's a great fucking talker. His absolute Ricky Starks. I like his gimmick. It doesn't really seem like a gimmick.
That's good.
Also, I just wanted to say, I'm happy I never bought a Velveteen shirt.
Thank God. There were so many I was going to buy, and I just never did it.
So many people. I'm just so happy I did not buy a shirt.
I hope it's not true, but like...
But still, I'm happy I don't have to... Sorry, Tav. Tav has a shirt.
You better burn that shit.
That's a lot of purple to burn. I'm going to text him that.
You're going to look like Grimace.
Oh, he's
never wear that shit again for 2 reasons. I'm like, oh, Grimace. So, we good? We good to end?
That's all I had to say. It was a good AEW show from what I can remember. The Sex Gods versus Best Friends was nice, and it was great, actually.
Ain't no more Sex Gods after this shit. Telling you that much.
And no more
Yeah.
Who's gonna get the next push?
We'll see. Hopefully nothing comes out against them either. But with that being said, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes, myself at _Mr. Alex25 _ the other guy on the other side at
NU _KEWLA. I'm just so happy people are taking care of each other. Like, as far as we know, outside of this is a whole fucked up episode.
Yeah. Facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes, on Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google, and Transistor FM. Thank you, Transistor FM, for the shout out the other day on Twitter. Watch us, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on all those other platforms, and go get your mask. Go get your duo mask on Redbubble. And so he's just gonna keep saying everywhere. I'm gonna cut off the fucking episode. Thank you again, and we'll catch you guys next week. Deuces.
Everywhere.
Hate you.